Hello. I would like to share some information about Math 6 and Accelerated Math 6. This is Mr. Zengerle. So, for Math 6, at the end of the year, I have the choice of assigning your child to go to Accelerated Math 7 or Math 7. To make that decision, I use the following criteria. First of all, their final grade, all 4 marking periods added together and divided by 4, has to be 90 or higher. Also, on the departmental exams, which are the quarterly exams, their average of all 4 of them added together and divided by 4 has to be 80 or higher. If they do not meet both of those criteria, then I will put them into Math 7. If they do match both of those criteria, I will put them into Math 8 and to Accelerated Math 7. If your child is in Accelerated Math 7, then they have the choices of 3 different classes: Math 7, Accelerated Math 7, and Honors Algebra 7. Now, Honors Algebra 7, I really do not recommend. Your child will not be ready. They do not have enough information to get there. However, there is a way for them to qualify. If your child has a 95 or higher as a final grade for the class, and all departmental exams added together and divided by 4 average out to a 95 or higher, I will recommend your child goes into Honors Algebra 7. However, I don't recommend it. For most of the students, I would recommend they go to Accelerated Math 7. If they earn an 80 or higher for the class and a 75 or higher on the 4 quarterly exams added together and divided by 4, they will be recommended for Accelerated Math 7. If they are to go to Math 7, then they would have to have an average below 80 or a departmental exam below 75. If either of those are true, I will recommend them to go into Math 7 for next year. Here are how the grades are calculated for the year and for each marking period. Traditional assessments, which are quizzes and tests, are 60%. Alternative assessments, which are other tasks, are 15%. Classwork participation is 10%. Daily homework is 10%, and the quarterly exams are 5%. I will go into each piece separately. First, traditional assessments. There are 2 types in this class. There are tests, 1 or 2 per month. If your child gets a score lower than he or she wants, then that child can apply to do a retake. I will keep the better score, whether it's the original score or the retake score. And if a student is absent, that student must do a retake. If your child gets over a 90 on a test, I will give them a prize at the end of the day, a small toy usually. Every week, there are weekly assessments. There are 2 kinds: weekly assessments on current material and basic skills assessments. Things like adding, subtracting, things like that. Later in the year, basic skills will be things like solving an equation, finding area, things like that. The weekly assessments cannot be retaken. The basic skills assessments, no retakes available. However, they're worth very little for their overall grade. There'll be like 20 of them in a marking period, and altogether, all 20 of them will only be 10% of their overall grade. So as you can see, each one would be only 0.5% of their overall grade. They should not be worried about getting a score particularly, but they should look at what they get right and what they get wrong and use it as a guide to decide what to study before the tests happen. Alternative assessments, which are 15%, they include projects. All the projects will have separate grades for each piece, so that there won't be just one score. Your child won't blow it. If they do part of it, they will get credit for that part. They will be completed on Schoology, and also I will accept parts of it late, as long as they are turned in by the end of the marking period. Classwork and participation is 10%. Almost every day they have classwork assignments to complete. They are all on Schoology. I try to do as little on paper as I can. They may be completed late. I want them completed during class, but if they run out of time, they should complete them later on. And if they find that they haven't completed them in the past, they should start to complete them and get them handed in before the end of the marking period. If a student constantly submits things late, I'll have a discussion with them to figure it out. I score them 0 to 10 on Schoology. If they have a 7 or higher, I'll put 100 on Genesis. If you see a grade on Genesis of 0 missing or anything less than 100, then have the student redo the assignment and make sure it is submitted. And I will rescore it when I have a chance. They also have homework every single day. It is on Schoology. It is very short. It will only take them 1 or 2 minutes each day. It is often completed at the end of class. So your question is never, do you have homework? Because that answer is yes. But you should say, show me your homework score when you have completed it. And if they've already completed it, they can show it to you and you can see if they got 100. They have 10 attempts on each homework assignment to get 100. If they hand it in, if they submit it without getting 100, they're not showing me effort and their grade will be reflected by that. Again, if there's an old homework assignment that they haven't done, they should do it. They should get it handed in and submitted and earn a 100 on it. I want them to do it on time, but I will give them credit. If they do it late, I will give them full credit. There will be no penalty. But if a student is consistently late, then I will have a discussion with that student to see what's going on, see if something's going wrong. There are quarterly exams in this class. There is one each marking period. They are designed by the district and they must be completed during class, and there are no retakes available. However, they are only worth 5% of the marking period score, so they really can't kill anybody's score. If someone is doing well, this will not make them do poorly. If someone is doing poorly, on the other hand, this will not help them do better. It's only 5%, okay? I have handed out textbooks to Math 6. I will not be handing out textbooks to Accelerated Math 6. I had the students bring them home, and I told them to leave them home. I am not going to be referring to them. I am not going to be assigning any material out of them. However, if the student finds they need some extra help, look up the assignment in the book and do those assignments and look up your answers in the back to compare how you did. They can be used for that reason. They can be used for extra practice, but they will not be used for credit. And also, I am not going to score anything that is done in the Go Math book. I have enough work scoring the things that I have assigned. We will start to use calculators in this class towards the end of the year. I will want each and every student to have a scientific calculator. If your student cannot get a calculator, I have school calculators that I can assign to them, and all they have to do is return them in good working order by the end of June. I hope that was a good amount of information. Please write me a Schoology message or an email if you have any questions. Thank you.